Hello everyone, it's Dawn. Well, I'm continuing today with our series from the Love from LIZI August 2023 pack called Live, Love, Laugh. And today we're going to be using some of the fabulous papers in this pack, and we're going to be making what I'm going to call a decoupage gatefold card. And you'll see what I mean as we go along. So you will need 2 pieces of 6x6 white card. You don't have to use white card, you can use colour card if you want to, but I've chosen to use white card. And I have used one of the papers because it lends itself to cutting strips. And I wanted, for this project, you're going to need 4 strips of cut paper. You don't have to use the strips, but these ones have got the borders on them and I absolutely love them. And they'll go with the rest of the papers that we've chosen brilliantly. And you will need 4 of these, and they need to measure 6 by 1 inch. So 6 inches long and 1 inch wide, that is. Doesn't matter if it's slightly over inch, inch and a quarter, we don't have to be too precise, but an inch-ish. So if we called it 6 by 1, you won't be too far out. So we are going to use some glue. Well, let's just pop them over there for a minute. I'm going to use this lovely glue stick, this Creative Crafts glue stick. Let's Create, beg your pardon. And we're going to move those over to one side for a moment. And I'm going to make a border around the edge of this card, our first piece of cardstock. Now it will all look nice and neat by the time we're finished. So I'm going to very quickly put all, just move that out of the way, all 4 of these strips on. So give it a good coat. You can use another type of glue if you want to, but I like using glue stick. If you use a good quality one, it's nice and clean. I like a good clean glue. There's nothing wrong with the other glues, but this just happens to be my personal favourite. So there you go, that's just me. So we're going to put these 4 on to create a frame. And by the time we're finished with this, you won't see this bit here. So we'll just very quickly put this last piece on. So, and again, an apology in advance because one of my neighbours has got some building work going on, which seems to be sort of happening on and off at the moment. So if you suddenly hear a loud noise, the camera hasn't blown up, don't worry, it's my neighbour using the bathroom fitted. So there we go. It might not happen, but it could, just to warn you. So there we go, we've now got a frame. Now I've decided to use this decoupage set, and we're going to decoupage this up first. And it says, "You are wonderful." So I'm going to use a glue stick, or any glue will do. You can use tape if you want to, but if you use glue, you've got time to get it in the right place, or in the place where you want it. So that will be there like that. And I think, so that we don't lose all the little bits, we're going to decoupage it all up now. I haven't used every little bit of the decoupage, I've just used some of it. I've used the main mat, and on the back I've got some foam pads, which I've already taken the backing tape off, so you don't have to sit there for ages and watch me do that. And I've used the words, I've decoupaged the words, so we've got the word wonderful there, and we just line it up with the rest of it. And you are, make sure you don't put it upside down, which is very easy to do if you don't watch what you're doing. Which is easy to not watch what you're doing when you're looking at your screen and doing a video and not concentrating. So then all we need to do is work out which bits go where. I don't think it really matters, to tell you the truth. So that's going to go there, and that is going to go there. So once we've matched them all up, we've got our little decoupage piece. And we're going to pop that to one side just for a moment. We'll bring that back. I'm going to put it in the corner of the screen up there so that you can see it. The next parts you will need, I've already put the backing on just to make it a bit easier and make it go a bit quicker. But you will need some white card, which measures, I beg your pardon, 6 by 3.5. And you will need 2 of these. And on the top, or on the front, I have got, this is the front, that's the back, and again this needs to be 6 by 3, and that part is 6 by 3, and I'll show you how we got to that in a minute. In fact, I'll show you now, because I've done exactly the same on the other side, and this white piece is the tab. So what you need to do, once you've got this far, just wrap, without sticking anything down, wrap your gatefold elements over there like that. And then what you do, you need a 3-inch die, in this case a square die, pop it down in the middle over the top of your element, draw around it, and then die cut it with these two bits together. So just lightly tape them together, put your die on and let it run through, and you will have a piece that looks like that. Now I'll leave that to one side because we're not quite finished with the dies yet. So what we need to do now is we need to attach them to our main card, and I'm going to use some red runner tape for that, simply because it's quicker and easier. You can use glue if you want to, but if you use glue you have to wait for the thing to dry. But I'm going to use tape because it's quicker. So just run it on the inside and then line it up and pop that over there up to the fold, and then just fold it over just to make sure that it still folds nicely like that. And that's wonderful, it does. And then we're going to do that on the other side. And so again, we're going to use some red runner tape, or you can use red line tape if you've got it. Red line tape where I live isn't actually that easy to get hold of, so I'm using red runner tape simply because it's easier. It's easier to source locally, easier to get hold of. So we're going to stick that down like that, and we're going to just make that like that, and so it will fold. So when you fold that over, you've got your decoupage piece coming through it. Now these little strips, they're just from the same pack that we use for these, and I cut another two 6x1, and I did actually put these on before I did my die cutting. And we've got a couple more bits to go. We're not quite done yet. I'm going to turn it over because what we need to do, we need to cover these bits up, these flaps here. It will also make it nice and straight, and you need somewhere to write your message. And I have cut our other 6x6 white card, and I've already got some double-sided tape on there. But what we need to do, or well, you don't need to do it, but what I always do, I always pop some glue stick over the top of our tape, just so that it doesn't grab straight away, and it gives us a bit more time, so that if it doesn't quite go where you want it to the first time, you've got a little bit of time. So line it up over those tabs, make sure it's hitting those tabs and covering them, and give it a good press like that. Now you could leave that and call that finished if you wanted to, but I think it would look nice just to finish it off. It would look nice with a little narrow frame around there. Now because we've got a gatefold, it might be a problem, but there's a trick. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to do it, or at least how I do it. So what you do is you take your piece of paper. This is paper, again, this is one of the papers from this fantastic August 2023 pack from the Love from LIZI. And what you do, you take your dies, you take your original die, which was a 3x3, and the outer die, the larger die, is a 3.5 by 3.5. So these are square dies, and what you do, you line them up. Once they're lined up, run them through your machine. You can put a bit of tape if you want to make sure they don't shift around. Run them through your machine, and when you've done that, you will have a piece that looks like that. Now, of course, because this is a gatefold card, we need to split this frame. So what you do, fold it in half and just give it a little bit of a crease. It doesn't matter which way you fold it. Then what you need to do, find yourself a pair of scissors, which I've got just in my tray, and cut on the fold like that. So we're going to cut along our fold. So there's our fold line, and just give it a cut like that. And then all we need to do is bring that back to the centre so we can see what we're doing. For this, because it's only paper, I'm going to use glue, but I'm going to put the glue, let's just move that one out of the way for a minute. I'm going to put the glue on the card rather than on the paper because it's got a firmer base and it might be easier. And because it's glue, and glue's stick even, it'll dry. It'll dry clear and it'll dry flat. So all we do is we just pop that round there like that. Give it a press. Press it down like that. Then fold that one out. Make sure you haven't stuck it to your main part, which we haven't, that's fantastic. Fold that one in and do the same on the other side. So just put the glue around your aperture, grab hold of the other half of your frame and slide it into place. Now if you use glue, you'll have time to get it into place. If you use tape, I know it will be, especially for me, it will be very tempting to use the red runner tape, but if you don't get it right the first time, you're sort of stuck with it and you could have ruined your card. So there you go, there is our decoupage gatefold card, and because we've cut that little aperture out in the middle, the decoupage just pops through nicely like that, and when you open it out, you've got that lovely inside. It will stand up very nicely. If I rock it back, you can see what it looks like standing up. Fold it over. What you can do as a final check is turn it over to see if you've got any overhang, and I think we're okay, you know. So there we go. There is our decoupage gatefold card made with the August 2023 pack from Love from LIZI. So I hope you've enjoyed this project and have a go yourself. Gatefold card, bit different because we've got this aperture. So it opens up and you can close it nicely and it'll sit together beautifully. So there we go, there is our project for today. And when you come back tomorrow, I'm going to be using the fabulous embossing folder that came in the kit, but in a slightly different way. Naturally, it's me. I'm not going to do it normally, am I? So, or the traditional way. So come back tomorrow, find out what I do with the embossing folder and a couple of the other embellishments that were in the kit, and we'll have fun with another project from this fabulous kit. In the meantime, thank you very much for watching. If you're enjoying this series and you're not a subscriber yet, please do hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell, give me a thumbs up, I'd really love that. Add any comments you'd like to. And if you think that someone else might enjoy this video and this demonstration, please do feel free to hit that share button and send it on to them. So there we go, there's our project for today, and I will see you tomorrow with our project with an embossing folder. So I'll see you then. And in the meantime, thank you again for watching. Take care everybody, have fun, and as always, happy crafting. Bye bye for now.